preparedness to driving sustainability, the challenges of public works are some of the biggest our cities and counties and country face. But with APWA's vision for the future and all the knowledge and insights to be gained at the Public Works Expo, we're ready to get to work. And you can find it all right here on PWX TV. We're back at the 2024 Public Works Expo, where public works professionals are coming together to improve quality of life and to help their communities thrive. We have plenty more to share as we go in depth on APWA's strategic initiatives, setting a mission we all want to get behind. Today, we break down the APWA strategic initiatives with insights on DEI.
Formulating an equity office felt really critical and right for this city. And this mayor has a vision for this city to be the opportunity for all and a city for the future.
Making public works more visible.
Ensure that people who are in our profession, the men and women who work every single day to make people's lives better, are recognized for what they do.
And building the workforce. And we visit more great projects in public works across the country. Make sure to catch it all. Where can you watch PWX TV? You'll find our content displayed on screens here at PWX. Switch to the PWX TV channel in select hotels. Find it all online via PWX meeting site, or head straight to YouTube for the full list of content, including extended versions of our PWX film series. PWX TV is produced by Web's Edge. Make sure to like and share on all our social media as well. First up, APWA has been working hard to build a strategic plan designed to help its members and lead public works into the future. Let's go to APWA CEO Scott Grayson now to hear all about it.
This year's theme is advancing the quality of life of all. So how do we accomplish that? We've established 3 strategic initiatives. One is diversity, equity, and inclusion. The other is workforce, and also public visibility. And we've established roadmaps for each of those. We have action plans, metrics, and we establish those based on your input as members. We're really excited for these next year and a half to accomplish all of those actions. And we look forward to seeing you next year in Chicago.
DEI efforts are at the heart of APWA's mission, while public works departments across the country work hard to foster equity and inclusion amongst their staff and communities. Meeting with us right here in her home city, we're joined by Atlanta's Chief Equity Officer, Candace Stansel, to discuss how we're doing it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tara, for the opportunity. So excited to be with you all.
So tell us how you got started in this role.
Absolutely. For the last 2 decades or so, I've been thinking about equity work across a number of industries: higher education, entertainment, venture, philanthropy. And when this role opened up with our city, I thought, this place that I love, this is where I want to serve next.
And what kind of change were you looking for when you walked into this role?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Atlanta is the birthplace of civil and human rights, right? That is something that's in our DNA. And so formulating an equity office felt really critical and right for this city. And this mayor has a vision for this city to be the opportunity for all and a city for the future. So it makes sense that we would center equity in the work. And that means across all things, whether it's thinking about affordable housing, whether it's universal income, or whether we're doing something like ensuring people have access to healthcare, right? Regardless of what those needs are, equity needs to be at the center of those decisions.
And what has been the impact, and how have you been able to measure it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been by community. So we tend to say, what are the groups that need some more support? We're here at APW, right? Great example. We do a ton around disability access and inclusion, right? Many people think of that first in your physical infrastructure, your buildings and your roads. That's great. But also, how are you ensuring that there's an interpreter at your event so that that person has access? So we think about it in all those ways. What do communities uniquely need who often don't get heard from the most?
And what is your advice for other cities who are looking to implement and enhance their DEI?
Absolutely. I think it's critical that you, one, make sure there's a person responsible for it? How do they measure and understand impact? How do they set strategy? How close are they to senior leadership? I'm in a cabinet level role, meaning I report directly to Chief of Staff and our mayor. If you put that person too far away from it, it's very hard for them to have the impact. And then how do you resource the work? So if I'm gonna say we're gonna make every restroom in our city accessible, what does that mean? It's probably gonna cost us something. So make sure that you put the resources behind the work that's necessary to ensure your city is centering equity.
Candace, those were great points, great advice. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's visit a vibrant city in the Midwest. City of Fort Wayne is focused on enhancing residents' lives with green spaces and a growing cultural scene.
Hello, I'm Mayor Sharon Tucker here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where we're building an award-winning community that provides everyone the opportunity to achieve their full potential. We've been named 4 times in a row an All-America City. We're the 8th best-run city in the country, and we're the 5th most affordable city to live in. One of the clear signs to us that Fort Wayne is on the move is the investment from Google and Amazon. But outside of that, we're one of the fastest growing Midwest communities. We have a family-friendly, affordable place to live, and our parks are bar none to other communities. We are a safe and enjoyable community. We're committed to providing an enhanced quality of life for all of our residents, and we have some great employment opportunities.
Increasing visibility for public works is a key part of APWA's strategy, and what better way to start than with a celebration? National Public Works Week has been an institution for decades, but sometimes celebrating properly can take a little extra push. So to discuss how, I am joined by APWA President Dominic A. Longobardi. Very nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
So first of all, how did Public Works Week get started?
Public Works Week actually began in 1960. Basically, in 1960, they designated the first Public Works Week. And since then, it has grown tremendously over time with all kinds of efforts to ensure that people who are in our profession, the men and women who work every single day to make people's lives better, are recognized for what they do. You know, it's not always easy because we're in a profession where no one takes credit for anything that they do. We have very humble and wonderful people who work every day who never look for the limelight or to be recognized in the things that they do. But National Public Works Week just does just that, and that's what they want to do, is to say, hey, we have all these wonderful, great people, and they should be recognized. There's all kinds of events and different things that go on for that, and we celebrate in many ways.
So how can the different departments help with APWA with this week?
Okay, we have, there are many events, like I said. An example is a Touch-a-Truck event. So they bring out the equipment that we use. And many times it's school-age children, or sometimes even bigger children do it. They go see the equipment, they learn what it's all about, and hopefully at some point we influence somebody to actually want to be involved in our profession. So sometimes, a kid may be able to see a truck or see a garbage truck or see a payloader, and they want to use it and they want to play with it then, but maybe they have a passion for it when they grow up and they become part of our profession and serve other people like we all do. So.
And we were just speaking prior to this interview, and you were telling me how important family is, and the theme of family this year. Is that what you're going to push in your coming year as president? Absolutely.
Family is everything. And Public Works does things to help so many families. Most of the people in Public Works don't even know the families of the people they help. But when you think about it, when something happens, when something goes wrong, or something needs to be improved, or something needs to be fixed, what happens? In Public Works, everybody gets together. The engineers design it, the Public Works people put it together, then you have people who maintain it. But at the same time, something unfortunate like a disaster or a natural disaster like a hurricane, things like that, everybody gets together and helps. And that's pretty much what a family does. a family gets together and helps when everybody needs something, or they need to fix something, or I'll equate it to a Sunday dinner. You come over, the whole family, you change something or fix something in the house, and then everybody eats together. It's that kind of a mentality that we hope to create and expand on and build our Public Works family.
And how are you going to be celebrating Public Works Week?
I hope to be going to visit so many different places and people to spread the word about what Public Works is all about. We've done so many things right with our own staff who are just amazing people. And one example is we work with the Department of Public Works in Washington, D.C., where our Washington, D.C. office is. And we give out donuts with the Public Works Department in Washington, D.C. And they have all of their equipment out, and everybody gets to see it. They grab a donut, but at the same time they're looking at the equipment. So something as simple as that. But there are so many different facets and so many different things that go on. So hopefully we get to celebrate, and I get to do a number of things like that. My own community, we bring all the school children out. The Public Works Department takes out all the equipment. The police department joins them. So again, all the first responders are together. So it's really nice that they get to do that. And I hope to take part in any of those events, because they were a lot of fun.
Dominic, it was a pleasure. Best of luck in your upcoming year.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity and the time.
Sure.
So thank you.
Make sure to get a plan together for next year's Public Works Week. Now to the City of Cheney Public Works. Their forward-thinking leadership seeks to improve the community through everything from a new industrial park to a new aquatics facility.
Cheney is safe, family-oriented, community-driven, and neighborly. Cheney is unique in that we are a full-service city, which is unique to some of the surrounding municipalities in that we provide water, sewer, garbage, power to our citizens ourselves. We are home to Eastern Washington University, which contributes to the vitality, growth, culture of the city. Cheney is currently working on, we call it the Cheney Purple Pipe to Playgrounds and Playfields project. In that we're upgrading our wastewater facility to a reclamation facility, and that will clean and reuse water for irrigation uses in our green spaces, parks, school district playfields. And secondly, we just started construction of our new aquatic facility, thanks to the citizens for voting for a bond so that we can build this facility for them.
Time to head to the Workforce Development Hub as we look at another of APWA's strategic initiatives. As APWA officers support Public Works teams across the country, we want to hear from some of them on how they're building their workforce.
The only way currently is to hire people straight out of school and grow them. Right? It's really hard to hire people away unless you have a mega project that's going to support a bloated salary. But it's really finding them low and young and growing them.
Best way is through training, implementing a good training program and having that in place.
The best way to develop your workforce is to keep open-minded, to give opportunities to young people to present their desire to work, and to give a lot of thought to training people who may not have all the qualifications, and don't always pick the people you think will make a great team. Give opportunity to challenges and people that you may think will bring some new ideas into the organization.
The one current guy I brought with me, he's really excited to be involved in that and kind of creating a community that he can be involved in on the professional side. So it's great. It gives a good connectivity. I work in a very small office where 6 to 10 people, depending on the day. so there's not a lot of interaction, so it gives him an outside source to have peers that are his age.
There are so many opportunities through APWA, through conferences, lots of books that they provide and training. So definitely recommend, obviously, getting signed up, getting plugged in, and reaching out to those resources. There's several networks of resources and people in the industry that want to help.
APWA has been working for the last 30 years that I've been a member on developing young people's certification programs, helping them get educated in public works, and provide a lot of technical materials where you can advance and enhance your knowledge. And that also provides steps to better job opportunities. Networking is a big one at these conferences. When you come here and meet people, gives you opportunity to get better jobs and meet people with knowledge and ideas.
Coming up, we take a look at some of the challenges of the country's biggest cities face with leadership from LA and St. Paul. First, we visit the city of Whittier, California. From trails to state-of-the-art water pipelines, their Public Works Department is the backbone of their city.
The Whittier Public Works Department oversees everything in the public right-of-way in the city of Whittier. We have streets, we have a water department, we have sewer, we have a landfill, we have customer service, we manage our own fleet, and we do all the things with about 115 employees who work every day to make life better here in Whittier for all of the residents.
The Public Works Department, we're just a very cohesive group of folks that bring our expertise together to make a difference in people's lives, whether it's our residents or whether it's newcomers or visitors. We just want to serve people well.
I'm excited about the future of Public Works for the city of Whittier because of the people that are a part of the team. We built a great leadership team that are helping to collaborate with other departments and build relationships amongst divisions and departments here in the city of Whittier so that we can work together as a team to make life better for all of its residents.
APWA represents public works departments big and small across the country. But with big cities and counties come big challenges. To discuss the issues they're facing and how APWA is supporting them, I'm joined by APWA CEO Scott Grayson, LA City Engineer Ted Allen, and St. Paul Public Works Director Sean Kershaw. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And Scott, I'm going to start with you. How does APWA focus on these issues facing these big cities, and tell us about the Big Cities, Big Counties Forum?
Sure, great. So I started my role about 8 years ago, and the big cities and counties were absent. Not a lot of them had joined, not a lot of them were as engaged, and I didn't understand why. So with outreach, we started speaking with a lot of them. We formed a group, and our definition of big cities is about 400,000 population up, roughly, and there's only about 36 to 40 big cities or counties with that population. So we formed a group. We meet twice a year and we speak about all of the current issues that are impacting big cities and counties in the United States.
And Ted and Sean, talk to us about what's the same and what's different about running the big cities and counties.
So essentially with big cities, it's the same challenges as a small city, except at a much bigger scale, of course. But with that, we become much more siloed a lot of times. And so communication and coordination becomes much, much more important to make sure the different departments in the city are on the same page.
Would you agree with that?
100%. I mean, the forces impacting us, whether that's climate change or how communities are changing, are the same. But the complexity, the scope, and the scale are really different. And Ted's exactly right, that in our own department, it's easy to become siloed in your one area and forget that the public sees our work, all together and all linked. So I think it's the dynamics are the same, but the scope and scale and complexity are really different.
And you spoke a little bit about this, Scott, when you were talking about IIJA and all of this funding, but now we are seeing that some of that is starting to run out. So now let's look at funding on moving forward. What does that look like for the future?
Well, it's funny that you should say that. It will run out, but not all of what was appropriated is actually even out there. And I think our panel here would agree that one of the hurdles right now is accessing the money. We're speaking about workforce. What we know is that government is also struggling with being able to hire enough people to even administer the money that was approved. So we've got a few more years left on that, but we have started asking Congress what next. We've been told by the White House, let's focus on 1.2 trillion right now and spend it in appropriate ways. So APWA, big cities, counties are really working with Congress and the White House to help them deliver the money and educate our members on where to find the money.
And switching gears a little bit, Ted, to AI. Speak to how your city is implementing that, and have you found that it's all it's hyped up to be thus far?
Well, it's still early, and I guess one of the other differences of a big city, we're bigger ships that steer a little bit slower sometimes. So we do have an AI policy in the city of Los Angeles, and one of the things as a city or county you have to do is be cognizant of privacy of people's information. And so there's the free public version of AI that a lot of people are familiar with. We already have a policy that we're not allowed to use that within the city because everything you type in there is essentially becoming part of that database, and you don't know where that data is going, and so we don't want to be putting people's information in there and whatnot. So we're looking at evaluating the different options for subscribing for a corporate account so that we can use it more. But the way it's already being used in the city, it's mainly on the chatbot side right now. We're just getting into generative. In the Bureau of Engineering, we're just forming an AI committee to look at different ways that we could further use AI. So I do see a huge potential in the future to automate a lot of the kind of mundane reports and tasks and things like that we do, and even programming as well.
And if I may, and I was speaking with Sean earlier, and they're experimenting with AI on snowplow trucks.
Yeah, one of the things that we'll be doing is hiring a firm to computerize and automate our snowplow routes, and the new systems in place can use AI to adjust the routes kind of on the fly based on the circumstances. And so now we literally have our snowplow drivers looking at clipboards with paper directions on them. And the vendor that we hire, we're certain will use AI to help automate the routes. So that's going to save time, improve performance, save staff hours, and hopefully fuel.
Fantastic. Great discussion, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, thank you.
A really interesting discussion there. Whether you're from the biggest city or smallest town, we're all working together on the same challenges. That wraps up our last episode of PWX TV, as we've explored all the aspects of APWA's strategic plan. If you missed anything, remember, there's lots of ways to watch. Where can you watch PWX TV? You'll find our content displayed on screens here at PWX. Switch to the PWX TV channel in select hotels. Find it all online via PWX meeting site, or head straight to YouTube for the full list of content, including extended versions of our PWX film series. PWX TV is produced by Web's Edge. Make sure to like and share on all our social media as well. We've had a fantastic time here in Atlanta. It has been so inspiring to see all that you're doing to keep our cities and counties running. We can't wait to see where you go next. Until next year in Chicago, goodbye.